All right, guys, so in front of you, you have your do now. So what I'm going to ask you to do is do a good job for the substitute today. Remember expectations as you come in. Place your notebook with last night's homework open on your desk to page 82, 1 to 10. We'll be going over that here in the video shortly. Make sure you fill in your agenda. And then I want you to turn to page 84 and complete 23A through C. When you've completed all of the above, I'm going to ask you to continue watching the video. So for right now, go ahead and pause, continue all of the above, and then go ahead and watch the video. All right, so now that you've unpaused the video, here are your answers to page 82, 1 through 10. So go ahead and take a close look at those. Check those carefully, and then make sure you record the correct answer, and hopefully by going back, you can make some sense of where any mistakes are. And these are something you can always ask me tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. You can ask me additional questions tomorrow if you still have them. So let's take a look at the do now that you had. It says each of 15 students will give a 1.5 minute speech, right? So we don't want to just have them throw a number together, right? So we want to think about what this means. So I got 15 students and each of them gives a 1.5 minute speech. So I got 1.5 minutes, 15 students each. I could do 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 1.5, right? 15 times, or we know now from yesterday that we can just multiply by 15. So the first step, we're going to change this to a an improper fraction. 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3 over 2 times 15. I'm going to put 15 over 1. I'm going to look and see if I can cancel out 2 and 15, 3 and 1. They only have greatest common factors of 1, so I'm going to multiply straight across, and I get 45. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 goes into 45 how many times? So I could set up my think bubble here. 45 and divide by 2. Get 2. That'd be 4. Bring down the 5. 2 goes into 5 2 times. And I'll get 22 remainder 1, so 22 and a half. Whoops, let's go up here. 22 and 1/2 minutes total. So if the teacher begins recording on a digital camera with an hour available, an hour, right? 1 hour. So let's think of that as 60 minutes. Is there enough time to record everyone if she gives a 15-minute introduction at the beginning and every student takes a minute to get ready and we're supposed to explain? So let's think about this. I got a 15-minute intro and I got every student taking a minute to get ready. So 15 times 1 minute each would be 15 minutes to get ready. That'd be 30 minutes total. We know that the speeches are going to take 22 and a half minutes, right? That would give us a total of 52 and a half minutes. So if she has a 60-minute clip, right, a 60-minute digital camera, does she have enough? And the answer would be absolutely yes, she does, right? If she has 60 minutes, so her explanation is something like she has 60 minutes, she would need 52 and a half minutes of time. How much time is left on the digital camera? Well, let's see. She started with 60, and we need to take away 52 and a half. So a couple different ways we could do this. We could just take 52 and round it to 53. So 60 minus 53 would be 7, and then add the half on. Or we could also do 60 over 1 plus 52 and 1/2, right? We could convert this, so this would be 60 over 1 plus 105 over 2. Find a common denominator of 2, which would make this 120 over 2 minus, sorry, this should be subtraction, right? We're subtracting how much is left. That's my fault, how much time is left. So we're subtracting 60 minutes minus the 52 and a half. Subtracting 105 over 2, that would equal 15 halves or 7 and 1/2 minutes. So this would be 7 and 1/2 minutes. Kind of a cool problem. All right. I want you to take out that organizer that we've been using the last couple of days, and we're going to look at the dividing fractions. And the question is, how is dividing fractions similar and different to multiplying fractions? So just for the sake of today, we're going to skip over this video, and I'm kind of going to be the math antics guy for you. So here we got dividing fractions, how's it similar and how's it different. Here's the good news. If you can multiply fractions, you can divide fractions without too much problem. So the first step for dividing fractions is the same. We're going to change all improper fractions, or I'm sorry, whole numbers and mixed numbers to improper fractions. So again, on that yellow sheet that we used yesterday and last week, we're going to continue our notes. Here's the cool part. We're going to change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol. And we're going to change our divisor. This is our divisor, right? It's what we're dividing by. It's our divisor. We're going to change it to, brand new word, reciprocal. So say that word to yourself, reciprocal. And a quick way to remember our steps is we're going to think Kentucky Fried Chicken. Keep, flip, change. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. All right, so this just is for division. So we don't want to start doing this for all of our problems. This is just division. So let's take a look. I got 5/8 divided by 2/9. So it says change them to improper fractions if you need to. If we have whole numbers or mixed numbers, we don't, so we're good. Change the division sign to multiplication. Okay. Change the divisor to its reciprocal. Here's the reciprocal. Ready? Reciprocal, all that means is the numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator comes the numerator. So I'm going to flip this and make this 9 halves. Okay, that's the reciprocal, just taking this and flipping it. I'm going to look and see, can I cancel out anywhere? Can I cancel out here? Can I cancel out here? And the answer is no. Greatest common factor of 5 and 2 is 1. Greatest common factor of 8 and 9 is 1. So I'm going to multiply straight across. 5 times 9 is 45. 8 times 2 is 16. And now we're going to play around with this here and see what we can do. Let's see, 16 goes into 45 2 whole times. 45, 16, all right? And that's, if I do 2, that gives me 32. Subtract, I get 13. So I'm going to get 2 and 13/16. Now I'm going to try to simplify this as I can. That's a prime number. I cannot simplify it. That's my final answer. Let's go over here to this one. So make any whole numbers or mixed numbers improper fractions. Okay, I can do that. I'm going to make that 2 over 1. So now I got 2 over 1, and I'm going to do keep, flip, change. I'm going to keep the first one. I'm going to flip the second one to its reciprocal. Okay, to its reciprocal, and I'm going to change the sign. So 4/5 became 5 over 4. 2 over 1 times 5 over 4. I changed the sign. I'm going to look and see if I can cancel out. Look right here, I can, right? 2 and 4, they have a common factor of 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And now I'll multiply across. 1 times 5 is 5. And 1 times 2 is 2. 2 and 1/2 when I convert that. Now again, I would not have to do this step. I could have multiplied right away. I'd get 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 4 is 4. I'd get 10/4. Just to show you, if I did get 10/4, that would give me 2 and 2/4, which I'd have to break down to 2.5. So I'd get the same answer. Let's try this one. 3.5 divided by 6/7. Change whole numbers or mixed numbers to improper fractions. I'm going to change this first. This is going to become 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7 halves. I'm going to flip this to its reciprocal of 7/6. And I'm going to change the sign to multiplication. So I look and I say, well, can't cancel out here, and I can't cancel out here. I'm going to multiply straight across. 7 times 7 is 49. 2 times 6 is 12. Now hopefully I know my facts pretty well, and I know that 12 can go into 49 4 times. That'll give me 48, so I would have 1 left out of 12. Go ahead and pause the video, try this one on your own, and when you're finished, come back and we'll take a look at it. Alright, so you pause the video, you're back, and let's see how you did. 2 times 5 plus 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12/5, right? So the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to change these to improper fraction. I'm going to keep it division for now. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15/4. Now I see its division, so I'm going to keep it, flip it, change it. I'm going to keep the first one 12/5. I'm going to flip the second one to its reciprocal, and I'm going to multiply. Now, I can't cancel out the 4 and the 5, but I can cancel out here if I want. And here I think I think it could help me, because 5 times 15, that's going to give me a pretty large number. 12 times 4 is going to give me 48. So I am going to cancel out here the 12 and the 15. If I run through all my factors, their greatest common factor is 3. So I'm actually going to divide these both by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And now I think that's helped me. I'm going to multiply these, and I'm going to multiply this times the new one, and end up with 16/25. Is it simplest form? Well, 16, I have 1, 2, 8, 4, and 16. The only one of those that is a factor of 25 is 1, so my simplest form is 16/25. Okay? So again, we went through this kind of quickly because it's the exact same thing as multiplication, because we're going to make it a multiplication problem. So if you had trouble last night's homework, you're going to get more practice with multiplication today. If you're really stuck as you start working, I would recommend you maybe tap a partner or check into a partner. But again, when we divide with fractions, we keep the first one, we flip the second fraction to its reciprocal, and we change the sign. Right? So division to multiplication. Remember, we're only flipping the second fraction. We don't want to flip the first one. We're only using the reciprocal of the second fraction. Okay? All right. So for the remainder of the period, you're going to turn to page 94, and you're going to work on numbers 1 through 6. And I want you to show the work neatly in your notebook. Now, numbers 1 and 2, I believe, they go step by step by step. So if I look at question number 1, okay, I have something that looks a little like this. It says 4 1/4 divided by 3/4. And then they start using these boxes, right? They give me a box here, they put it over 4, and then they give me another box, and they put it over 4 times, and here they put it over, And what they're doing here is they're taking you step by step. So the first step is change them to improper fractions. So this box is going to end up with 4 times 4 is 16 plus 1. This is going to be 17. And then they go to the next step, right? Well, the 17 is going to stay again. But here, if you look, what they're saying is, hey, look, we changed this to multiplication. We got to flip this to its reciprocal. So this becomes 4/3, and then you're going to solve it. Now, if I was solving this particular problem, absolutely, right here, I'm dividing both of these by 4, because they can. That's their greatest common factor. Sorry. Right? It's their greatest common factor. This becomes 1 and 1. Again, I don't have to do this step. I could just have to simplify at the end, and I get 17/3. Again, this is number 1 from your homework. Okay. I wouldn't think that 17/3. 3 goes into 17 5 times, and I'll have 2 left over 3. So if you need to rewatch the video, go ahead. But with these boxes, this is what they are doing. They're taking you step by step. So it kind of gets you to think through it step by step by step. Again, I don't think that number 1 is probably, or 2, or ones you have to show in your notebook, but I definitely want to see 2, 3, 4, and 5 in your notebook for tomorrow. All right? We'll practice these more tomorrow, see how you did on your homework, and we'll go from there. Okay? So good job. Go ahead and get to work. And I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow.